Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do. Got my little t-shirt, my new stuff in the day. So I'm rocking my new t-shirt for you. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, yeah, that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment, aka Nehast. Hint, hint. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where we go with this? We work together and we'll make that happen for you. I'll give you what you need to know thyself. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I'll help you with that. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here too. Wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and always to my yacht be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about the great awakening of Neterian religion is Nehast. Let me give you a quick look at the picture. See that there? Look familiar? Yeah, that's my eye. That's the one I wear. The eye of Haru. I'll tell you about it when we get to it. That's where we're going. That's part of the reaching Nehast. To have that eye representing what I know myself. Let's go. So let's start with tough nuke. Tough poo nuke. Watch. He is me tied to each other. He is I and I am he. Sound familiar? God and I are one. That's the concept. And the great awakening of the Neterian religion, it tells you, right thinkers, listen, the ultimate purpose of all traditions of Shitat Neta, right thinking philosophy, including the Anuian tradition, is to attain what we're going to attain. You ready? Spiritual awakening or spiritual enlightenment. Either one is about getting what? Knowledge of self and living and realizing you are one with God. That's knowing thyself. Now, Nehast. This is how it's written in Arabic form. See it right there? The little squiggly lines. That's the noon. The little, like an upside down G. Then you got the falcon. I don't know what that hook thing is, but then that's the look. And then the eye you see at the end. Okay? That's the way they wrote out Nehast in ancient times. Okay. It was so important. Nehast means to wake up, to awaken to what? A higher existence. Raising your lower level consciousness from the egoistic level to a what? Conscious higher level. What is this? Of existence. This is a mystical movement. Gave you the definition about that a little while ago. Of what? It's a mystical movement of self-discovery and a union with, you ready? The supreme divine framed as a hidden, deeper existence of life discussed in various sections, we talked about it, of the Per M. Haru also, ancient Egyptian books of the dead, text, for example, where it is said, you ready? Nuk, Pa, Nuda, Ah, Neter, Yu, Ashu, Asha, Ren. Uh, I am that same God. This one with all religious followers, all culture. Listen, God says, not that I'm a jealous God. No, not that thou shalt not. No, no, no. He said, I am that same God, the Supreme One, who has a myriad of mysterious names. That's letting you know that in Islam, he's Allah. In Judaism, he's Jehovah. Okay? In Christian, he's Christ. So, all the names that y'all call him, Egyptians had the concept Amun, Amen Ra Ptah. So every concept is to define or give attributes to and about who we call God. And he's letting you know I will be known by many names. And that's fine. Because you call God Allah, I call him Yahweh. We shouldn't match gods because what? It's only one. That's why. So all that name calling don't change the fact that it's just one. And he says, right thinkers, listen and understand because there's a purpose and ancients live seriously about this. The goal of all right thinking Neterian disciplines is to, you ready? Discover the meaning of who am I. He told God on Mount Sinai, I am that I am. Who am you? I don't believe I said that. Okay, but the idea is to unravel the mysteries of what? Life and the phantom, the death of what? Eternity and infinity. This is the task, you ready? Of all humans. All human beings. And it is to be, you ready again? Accomplished when? In this very lifetime. You have to do it now. Why? Because the previous guys didn't get it done. Or ladies, don't make a difference. When your spirit is here, it's been used already. It ain't fresh. So the whole deal is, if somebody ain't did their job, would it be you to get it home? I know mine's jumping for joy right now. Why? They know it's on its way home. Okay? So that's the concept. And it was for everybody, and it should be done when? During this lifetime. Why? That's how it's supposed to be done. This can be, again, this can be done. How? You ready? This is teaching. By learning the ways of the Neteru. Emulating them. Want to be like Mike? Want to be a good basketball player? That's what Kobe did. Time in the Hall of Fame. But emulating, okay, is the highest form of flattery. You emulate them and what? You finally, by emulating them, become like Mike. No, be like them. Excuse me. All right. Akus. A-K-H-U with an S on it. But an Aku is singular. Akus is many enlightened beings walking the earth doing great things. Some of us are aware of who we are, what we got. Some of us are not. My goal is to get you to be aware. That's all. Understand that. Moving on. I'm almost there. Now, enlightened beings, Akus is enlightened beings walking the earth as giants and accomplishing great deeds such as what? The creation of all the universe. That's God. Okay? Moving on. I'm almost there. Alright, my pastor. I ain't gonna hold you long. You get another half hour service. No, well, man, you don't do that. You good. Now let's talk about right quick the ujat. I gave the breakdown of the eye, the metaphor of the eye. But the ujat in a different form is considered, we call it the eye of Haru. Why do we call it that? Because it's the internal eye that sees you internally. It sees when it sees other people, it sees what they're not looking at, what? The inner them. I can see what you're not looking at. I can see you. That's the eye being open, and it can see inside you and also see inside those others. The eye of Haru is the quintessential symbol. Remember, they didn't have a bunch of words. They didn't have a bunch of jibber jabber. But when you see the eye of Haru, the symbol of what? Awakening to what? Your divine consciousness. I tell you, you got the Christians, excuse me, the Christians call it being prayed up. Okay, I call it being God conscious. They stand divine conscious. Closer to my definition, I get it. But your divine conscious representing the concept, you ready? My favorite, Nehast. When you reach the level of anointment, Christhood, Haruhood, but when you reach the level of having knowledge of self, aka to know thyself, you have reached Nehast. So after Nehast, the asking question, what is the philosophy of Shims? I got a better question. What the hell is a Shims? Shims means to follow. And I'm going to show you this because this is funny. You see, right there, that's the eye up top. But it said the Shim. You see the little idea? You see the feet, the legs going in the way? Whenever you see legs, okay, the Shim is a follower, okay? He's following. And when he's following, going to the left, he's going the right way. If you see the legs going that way, he's going the wrong way. Okay, a little quick tidbit. All right. So let's talk about the shift. It means to follow. Okay. This purpose, awakening to divine consciousness and representing the concept of Nehast is fulfilled through what? The process of Shims. What does it mean to follow something? Why should some things be followed and others not? What should be followed in life and why? Good question. These are certainly some of the most important questions in life. Why? Because if serious thought is put to them, they involve the critical questions of life. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? All good questions. And even the settlement, they have some more to just stop there. Now, which are or should be the best important concerns in life? What's your priorities? This trustee in Anuian theurgy suggests some answers, and they are as follows. They offered from the perspective of an ancient Egyptian concept and its attendance, and the theurgy, and suggests some answers. Didn't want to take them? Okay. So thereafter offered from the perspective of an ancient Egyptian concept and its attendant teachings as developed how? By the who? Sages and the she-taught Nether African religion where? In ancient times. It's been around a long time. Sorry I kept you. Well, time's up. Yeah, most of y'all slept through the whole deal. But the whole idea is to gain self-knowledge by following a philosophy that it gave you the idea or the ability to do just that, aka Maya. Now, two Shims in Nebertia. It says, I am a follower of Nebertia, aka God. Next one it says, Such in Keperu, in accordance with the writings of Lord Keperu. Now, he is the scarab, head beetle. He had everything to do with creation also. And the answer to the important questions of life were given by the sages of ancient times following the spiritual path. Those who want to know themselves, you're on the spiritual path. You're an aspirant. You're a right thinker. Now, in ancient times, that path was known as, you ready? Shita Netta. That's the path that we're treading, right thinkers. And to show you, it says, see plate 19. But the term she Tetu, Shetitu, it means teachings of the spiritual philosophy of ancient Egypt and the mysteries, in other words, Shita Netta. The teachings of Shita Netta were given by the Supreme Being, the Nabursha, and it was written by who? The Creator Kepru in Section 8 in the form of a philosophy of Shitatu. You had Lord Tahuti, that's the mind of God. That's the scribe of all. He's the one in charge. And then you got B, which is codified those into what they call hieroglyph. We know it Mesunetta, but the hieroglyph and the creator again Kepru in the form of excuse me. Now in the hieroglyphic text, these teachings were passed on how? To God Heru, female version of Heru, the god Asar, first spirit in man, the goddess Aset, his wife, sister, twin to Nestet. She represents immortality. Her sister represents mortality. She's the queen on the throne. Her sister represents the lady in the house. Now, who texts and these teachings were passed on to Hulu, and again, the god Asar, the goddess Aset, who taught it to who? Again, Haru, her son, us humans, aka the widow's son, and through what? History of succeeding generations of what? Sages, priests, priestesses, and Neterian religion. What does it mean to be a follower of Shita Netta, or right thinking philosophy? You ready? Spiritual teachings. If you are reading this, it is because at one time or another you have come to the recognition of the need for what? Betterment and along with humanity, better humanity. But also you want to promote what? Your own Nehast, aka spiritual awakening, and your emancipation and your spiritual resurrection. Therefore, you have what? Engaged in a spiritual search. Again, I started my search 35 years ago and I found it. And you're in a spiritual search that has what? Led you here now. So what needs to be done is what? In order to reach, the state of what? God consciousness, known as, you ready? Nehast, thank you. There must first be H-E-H-A-S, no T. Nehast, and that means wakefulness, being woke. Being awake, Being awake implies what? Wakefulness towards your teachings. That is what? Attentiveness, spending time, desire, etc. for what? Your spiritual pursuits. That's a good, admirable thing to pursue, spiritual, not the physical pursuit of the illusion things in this world. You'll never reach it. Happiness. Okay? This means that by that being nature, I'm messing that up. This means by being mature enough to have grown what? Beyond the childhood pursuits of what? Worldly things and interests in the worldly ideas of life. If you still stuck on having objects and things in the world, you're in pursuit of the wrong thing. Many people, watch this, think that following the teachings is easy. Au contraire, mon frère. On what? Hearing the ancient Egyptian proverb, Watch this. Searching for oneself in the world is the pursuit of an illusion. You'll never catch it because it don't exist. Like chasing a dragon. That first hit, you're never going to get that again. Like virginity. Once it's broken, it ain't never coming back again. It's a one-shot deal. Like life. Only when you come back, the body won't, but the spirit will. That's called reincarnation. Moving on. And watch this. They intrinsically know, they instinctively know what? Truth of this statement. However, here we go, many of those people who have heard and agreed continue to what? Shims by pursuing worldly illusions instead of applying themselves fully to what? To the teachings and living in accordance with its philosophy. Again, right thinking philosophy has to be lived. It's not a religion, it's the way of life. And needing to have a job to support oneself and one's family is a practical reality, right? But should not be an impediment to what? Intensive spiritual practice. I didn't go away to practice. I stayed right here amongst everybody, so I just transformed from their face. However, it will become what? An obstacle if that job or career is the main object in your life. If you are a workaholic, if you just, it's good to have a good job, good paying, you put all in it, but it should not be the object of your affection of life. Oh, what the hell happened here? Sorry about that. But again, it should not be the object of your life. Object. What it says here, okay, where we at? I lost my place. Where we at? We ain't get down there yet. Okay, objective and running. Now, the teachings should be what? The main objective. And the job should be a means to finance, which is what it is, an intensification, yeah, of the practice of the teachings will what? We must conclude that until the action follows the thought. If a thought is there and you don't act on it, there's no action, thought means nothing. Moving on. The thought is not being held as a reality or a priority. Why? So there is insufficient maturity. You ain't ready. And such a person to what? Pursue the teachings in a intensive and advanced way. Weak-minded, mosquito dick memory, don't remember nothing, ain't paying attention, not focused, they won't work. And watch this. Their choices and their actions will reveal what? Their lower state of maturity and aspiration. Such people should what? Should follow at the level of practice that includes, you ready? Devotional practice, rituals, and, you ready? The study of my girl, Maya. Again, these are things that you need to do, and the teachings that will develop what? Purity of heart, and lead you into a higher level of what? Aspiration. That's what we develop. The focus, again, there we go. The focus here is to develop your arit, A-R-I-T, Maya. That means offerings of righteous actions, selfless service, and living a life of righteousness and virtue. If you can say you do that, you on your way. Let's go. Almost home. Oh, Lord, let me get this out. Now, the opposite of Nehast is what? Nim. N-E-M. That means sleepy, to slumber, slothfulness, and immaturity. A person who is immature cannot adopt the teachings properly and will thus not be able to follow it rightly. You hear that? What is needed is wakefulness, pay attention, Nehast, towards what? Your higher perspectives in life, and slothfulness, nim, towards what is degraded. And this means an aspirant should be awake to the authentic spiritual traditions that can lead to what? The achievement of transcendental, or we know it better as what? Higher consciousness, as opposed to ordinary worldly people who are what? You ready? Asleep. The masses, they think you're asleep towards the higher perspective and wakeful towards what is what? A base, degraded, and illusionary in their life. All those who don't get it, you just completely do the same thing. Oh, and you just ain't getting it, ain't figured it out yet. But once there is, you ready? Spiritual wakefulness. That's my job, to get you that spiritual wakefulness. And what's going to happen? Your spiritual sensitivity, your spiritual aspirations, your respect for the sage and reverence towards the spiritual teachings and the divine, there should be, you ready? Nehast, which is wakefulness, watchfulness, alertness, and more important, diligence. We ain't heard that word in a long time. Okay? There are many who what? Who follow spiritual teachings of all traditions, who at times appear to have grown, and guess what? And others seem to have fallen back, reverted back to their old habits. If some people don't get the reward that they should get, man, then I'm going, yep, going back to what you comfortable doing, being a loser. And watch this. And their degraded passions and desires will take over. That's Abba. So in other words, to truly follow an idea, you must be steady on the path and watchful so that negative behavior and patterns do not draw you back to what? Into earlier lower states of consciousness. Doing the thing that you know is wrong, knowing it's wrong, you're just going to forsake everything and say, I'm just going to do me. That's selfish. Wrapping it up. Here we go. You go, so Shims is also the means to have what? Good association, divine association by joining with others together. This is a special association. Disciple, teacher. Unlike the worldly kinds of groups that have what? Worldly goals and objective, or, you ready? Religious goals and objectives. Shims is the coming together of who? Followers of the divine for the purpose of what? You ready? Promoting righteousness and order, Maya, in where? Society. They lived in harmony for thousands of years as a society of people. And you also spiritual awakening and spiritual enlightenment for those who what? Are ready. Who put the work in to tread the path of, you ready? Reach M-ab. That means self-knowledge and higher consciousness. And Manet, spelled A-N-M-E-N-I-T, and that means immortality. You want to pass the scales of Maya to get to the level of immortality. So you have to put the work in. Know thyself, reach Nehast. That's how it's done. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Right now, in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100 and may 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers who reached Nehast have passed away. Hope you enjoyed it. Come on.